Yummy. Yummy.
Common Good TV show. The Common Good TV show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show. The Common Good Radio Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the good in the community. Hosted by Pastor John McLean, Tucson's favorite family show.
All right, we are back with the Common Good Radio Show. I am your guest host, Ron Arenas, with my co-host, Ricky Williams.
Hey, guys, how are you?
And this is brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. I always have to make sure I say that because this is pretty much the whole purpose of this radio show is to help veterans out, get them the services that they need. Pastor John is just, he does a great job going out there and getting these guys the services and different things that they need so that they can get back with their life. Our next guest is Jason Krause with Levity Wellness Center. Welcome, Jason.
Thank you, gentlemen. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about Levity.
Absolutely. So we are a locally owned and operated wellness center off of Speedway in Campbell, just east of Campbell on the south side of the street there near the post office and Suzuki Law. We offer flotation therapy, massage therapy, and a number of modalities, stretch therapy, and infrared sauna.
Oh, okay. I've heard of the flotation therapy before, but I don't know that much about it.
So I'm happy to give a little more info about it. Essentially, it's about 125 gallons of reverse osmosis water in a tub with roughly little over 1,000 pounds in our bigger tank of medical grade Epsom salt. Wow. Just like when you grow up and you twisted your ankle and Dad said go soak in Epsom, same idea, but much greater concentration of the Epsom salt.
Wow. So there's such a high concentration, you have to float, right?
Yeah, you don't have a choice. And it's kind of funny when you get in the tank that most people will comment on that you actually have to push into the water,
Really?
which is kind of an odd sensation because you're so used to water being so giving, and that natural response of holding yourself out of water just kind of disappears.
Wow.
How would that compare to the Dead Sea?
So it's the specific gravity, which is the measurement for it, is just slightly greater than. So in the Dead Sea, your heels might skip a little more than, say, in our float tank where you're a little bit more parallel. It's like being weightless on a two-dimensional plane.
Wow. Oh, wow. That's cool. And what's the theory behind the flotation therapy?
So it originally was a theory in which if we removed all stimulus, what does the brain do? But the gentleman, John Lilly, that designed and developed the therapy didn't realize what it would do for mental health, what it would do with the brain and how the brain reacted to it, and then the physical benefits of it in the sense that being weightless for a period of time, what that does for your spine, your posture, joints, etc. So whether someone's very pregnant or dealing with back issues like myself or just getting a little older against our own free will, that sense of weightlessness is just almost blissful. I was in the tank last night for 2 hours after an hour-long sauna, and it is just exactly that. You come out in a very, very calm state, and the body just feels good.
Oh, wow. How often should a person do that?
So it's really dependent upon your goals. So for me, it's maintenance, right? It's maintenance and trying to fight off the old man, if you will.
Yeah, I understand.
So for me, it's 2 to 3 times a month.
Okay.
So I'm in the tank 2 to 3 times a month. If I'm having a rough month because of my back, or I went and did something I probably shouldn't have, or something along those lines, then I will more often, or I'll incorporate massage, or I'll incorporate sauna. For somebody that's, say, if you're really trying to work on mental health or emotional regulation or just your stress levels, it could be every week for 6 weeks, and then as needed. So we have some folks that come in once a month. We have some folks that come in every week for pain relief. So it's really dependent upon the situation.
Do you guys work with like sports medicine or have a lot of athletes that come in or anything like that?
We do. And excitingly enough, this last week we landed again, second year in a row with the U of A football team.
Oh,
So we had one of their tight ends in this last week. Big gentleman, makes me feel small.
Yeah,
but
tight ends are usually big dudes.
He's
did
a
he
big dude,
fit
yeah.
in the bath?
He did. So our bigger tank, even me at 6'1", I can completely stretch out hands over my head.
Oh, wow.
And so
okay.
him at 6'4", maybe a little less stretched out, but
Yeah.
he definitely can fit. We've had folks of all shapes and sizes in our tanks and really had a lot of success. The athletic portion of it is really kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the onset, is that soaking in Epsom brings down inflammation.
Oh,
So when you soak in a hyper-concentrated bath of that for a long period of time, it helps to really bring down inflammation. So the theory behind our agreement with the U of A is that they do a lot of work with their athletes, making sure from whether it's rest, recovery, maybe how hungover, and just, these are kids. They're
Yeah.
student athletes that are dealing with an immense amount of stress,
yeah, they have a
On-
huge schedule.
for sure.
Yeah.
So to be able to give them the opportunity to unwind, even in an hour dose, if you will, and unplug and be able to recover, that's huge for them going into the week or going into a big
Wow.
game week and something to that
Okay.
effect.
So they're kind of decompressing not only physically but mentally also.
It's a positive side effect of it,
Yeah.
right? If you come in for a physical decompression, you're also going to kind of get that mentally. And it really speaks to the body as a system, not separating mental and physical health. It is health.
Okay. So on all your services, you've mentioned holistic wellness. What does holistic wellness mean to you?
So to me, it's just a category more than anything.
Okay.
We can't say that we offer your typical medical wellness, right? We're not MDs and we're not doing any of your typical Western medicine things. We do offer the massage, sauna, and float. And so holistic to me is non-invasive without
Okay.
side effect.
Nice.
And that's the way
Yeah.
that I look at it, is that what can I offer that I know in confidence if somebody walks in the door, when they walk out, they will feel better than when they arrived. That's what it means
wonderful
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get started in this?
I found it 10 years ago in Portland on a vacation.
Oh.
Bored one night, thought I was looking up ice cream, and then said, "What in the heck is this?" And my wife said, "Of course you would find that and try it." And I was hooked from there on. I had such a vivid daydream-like nap. I went, "Whoa, I gotta find this back home."
Wow.
And crazy enough, 4 years later, I sat out of bed and broke my neck.
Oh, wow.
Disc just snapped sitting up. And I found myself just drawn back to the tanks once I was healed.
Yeah.
It got me off the opiates. It really helped me regulate my own fears and paranoia of suddenly having a broken neck and everything that went with it. And from there, I really became a champion of it for the former owner of Levity.
Okay.
And then in 2020, she was just really, I think, exhausted from COVID. I think we all were.
Yeah.
And she offered to sell it to us. And 3 days later, my company offered me a bonus for the exact dollar amount. And I went, well,
Wow.
I guess the universe is telling me something here.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's how we ended up on the other side of the desk, so to say.
Okay. Very good. And how long? Oh, you've been open since, basically, you've owned it for 4 years.
I've owned it for nearly 4 years, and the business itself has been around for 10.
Wow. Okay.
So kind of a hidden secret, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. And are you the only place like that in Tucson?
We're the only commercial float center. There are a few others that
Oh.
have float tanks in their homes, one far west and one far east. But as a commercial center that offers a combination of therapies, we're the only one in town.
Okay. And you said you offer massage and what was the other service?
IR sauna or infrared sauna.
Infrared.
So
What's that?
a little different than your typical sauna. Typical sauna is that hot air and it's kind of heating you from the outside in. Infrared sauna is like heating you from the inside out.
So kind of like a microwave.
Yeah, kind of.
Ah,
I try not
okay.
to, I'm going to microwave you for 45 minutes. But, it is very similar theory in that I spent 45 minutes in it last night, and it's interesting because the air doesn't get heavy like in a typical sauna.
Oh.
You get really hot and you definitely sweat like you do in a typical sauna, but the air doesn't have that same heaviness, the same heavy humidity that you usually get in a typical sauna.
Okay.
So it makes it a little bit more manageable to stay in for a little bit longer periods of time instead of just 10, 15 minutes. I did 45 minutes in there last night. I've done up to an hour before.
Wow. Okay.
And I'd say our typical appointment is between 30 and 45 minutes for most folks.
And what for the sauna? Why do people usually choose that service?
It's put simply, it's a lot of detox. It's a great way to get a good sweat, to really start pushing out some of that inflammation, a lot of the buildup that just kind of happens throughout life, what we eat, what we experience, what we're exposed to, etc. It's a really great way to just kind of get some of the crud out, if you will. Infrared sauna has a lot of science behind it, just like the float tanks, so it's no longer conjecture or pseudoscience. There's a lot to back it, and we try to stay in that lane, things that are realistically helpful.
Huh. Yeah, I haven't heard of that before. That's really cool.
You know, I've experienced regular saunas. My wife and kids, my kids are gymnasts, and my wife was telling me all about the infrared sauna, and it wasn't at your place, but she said it was amazing. Yeah, she loved it.
Yeah, they're fantastic. And there's a couple here in town. Tucson Cold Plunge has infrared saunas along with their cold plunges. I believe there's a space up in Oro Valley that does a nice job as well. So definitely a beneficial treatment. And if you love the heat and get sore like I do, it's fantastic. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Can you tell us again where you're located and how people can get a hold of you?
Absolutely. So it's 2272 East Speedway. We're just east of Campbell on Speedway on the south side of the street. Easiest way to get a hold of us is 520-339-6674 or our website. You can book online, buy online, etc., and tons of information at levityrising.com.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming on. It's great to finally meet you in person.
Wonderful. Thank you.
We'd like to thank our sponsors: Levity Wellness Center, Crest Insurance, Tucson Pack and Ship, Piper Family Painting, Steamy Concepts, Dawn Till Dusk Landscaping, and Kama Masha. We'll be right back.
Common Good TV Show. The Common Good TV Show. Brought to you by Veteran Rescue Mission. Highlighting the